Paul.
Bring Marie to come watch it. I mean, I don't think she really cares that much, to be honest. Let's just watch it ourselves.
Nino, better known by his online alias Ice Poseidon, is a 24-year-old live streamer who, from humble beginnings as a somewhat introverted Runescape streamer, has since then helped pioneer many aspects of IRL streaming and is regarded by some.
So I just have to say, for starters, this is a very rapid start to the whole thing. This is he totally had no intro at all, no transition. He just started. Which was interesting way to put it, I suppose.
As the king of IRL, due to the strong and unique connection he has formed with his viewers. But all this has come at a price. The price of selling his privacy for the content he produces. This, with the lack of moderation of his streams, makes him a target from viewers with malicious intent that have been rejected from other communities. Although these viewers make up only a small portion of his community, they are arguably the most impactful on his life. Through small aggressions, such as getting him kicked out of stores, to organizing a fake bomb threat that made national headlines and will later see him banned from his initial streaming platform.
Wait, hold on. Can you guys hear? Because everything's up. The volume's up on my side. Let me see. You guys should be able to hear it pretty well. Oh, that's why.
This and a few other things will only serve to distance him from his viewers and bring up several accusations of him lying or simply trying to deceive his community. Whether it's hiring actors to pose as police officers, to over a 5-month period continually lying about a breakup with his girlfriend. This, in no doubt, would take a serious emotion.
Actually, he has a good point there. I'm very intimate with my viewers, but the more I get swatted and the more fucked up shit happens, the less intimate I get, because that starts to turn into me having issues with wanting to be intimate with everyone.
Toll on him and turn a large portion of his fan base against him, which will lead to a decline in viewership, which is where he is now. And as for finding out how this transition happened, what a better place to start than from the beginning. Raised in a gated community in
Although, to be fair, this has happened about 4 or 5 times. The cycle is real.
In Stuart, Florida, Paul's upbringing, as described by him, was not a pleasant one. In an interview with his mother Enza Danino, she reveals that at a young age, that Paul was very shy and desperate to make friends, which he would later make, but in unexpected places, as when he was 12, a neighbor introduced him to the MMORPG, Runescape, where he would console a random name generator that would give him the name Ice Poseidon. It was around this time that he would find an interest in making Runescape music videos, where he would overlay a popular song over footage of Runescape. Through this, he would find another video maker and make his first true friend, Gray Shaw.
Wow, this guy actually did his fucking research.
Also known as Voltizad. But the commonality wouldn't be limited to video making, as they both play large roles in the RuneScape glitching community, and due to his notoriety, he would also befriend the popular content creator Silent Core that may have influenced Ice to make more videos.
Okay, that's not true at all. Motherfucker. No, Silent Core wasn't Silent Core when I fucking knew him, so no, he didn't influence me at all, but my RuneScape video making days had nothing to do with what I do now, so.
Ice would also make a couple $100s by selling in-game items for gold and trading that gold for real life.
That's true. I need to have like a stream deck here so I could pause it easier. Hold on. I used to glitch on RuneScape and dupe items and then sell the items for money.
Life currency, which along with bug abuse was against the game's rules, but he would never be caught. Back to the real life, Ice would play RuneScape sometimes 18 hours a day, and on occasion, he would get up before school, play, then immediately after he got back, he would hop back on and repeat the cycle. This would play further into his lack of social experience and may have caused many outbursts at his school where he would do such things to gain the attention of his peers and maybe make a friend. But due to his introverted nature, this would usually not work in his favor. It was also around this time that he would be diagnosed with Asperger's, which is a form of autism, and would take drugs.
I got diagnosed when I was like 11, dude.
Would only make his life more miserable. As he continued to get into trouble and hop from school to school, he would also spend time in a camp for troubled teens. Fast forward to the age of 15, Ice was in high school and would enjoy doing prank calls with one of his RuneScape friends using Skype, and one of the calls targeted his high school. Where the previous calls were fairly in good nature, this one would have a consequential impact on his life, as during the prank call, his friend told the school secretary that there was a bomb in the school where in a panic, Ice would hang up the call and demean his friend for saying something that they both knew could get them in serious trouble, but both trusting the anonymity of the call had little to fear. until 6 a.m. the following day, when his house was raided by police and his computer would be taken for evidence, where it was determined that he was not the one that made the bomb threat and was left off relatively easy. But this combined with his outburst at school, where at one point he publicly and loudly asked a member of staff if they were good at performing sexual acts of an oral nature. It was at this point where the school gave him an ultimatum: either get kicked out of school or join a theater summer camp hosted by the school to build character, which he then enrolled in. Although Ice would not make any long-lasting friends through this camp, he did find something he enjoyed, which was the stage. The attention he craved as a child was finally something that he was getting. He also quit taking his medication cold turkey and would start a job at Dunkin' Donuts, which he would leave after a short amount of time. Fast forward to—
Well, I got fired. That was a good photo. I got fired from Dunkin' Donuts. So that's for sure. But drama was fun, and the police they gave me my old computer broken to pieces, and the hard drive was fucked.
his high school graduation, he began studying for a bachelor's in finance and would attain a job as a cook at a seafood restaurant known as Chowderheads. But 2 years later, at the age of 20, his interest in school would slowly dissipate and he would stop attending school after he got his associate's degree. He would also be fired from his managerial position at Chowderheads after leaving an oven on overnight, but he would be quick to find work.
No, that's not what happened, idiot. That is not what happened. Yes, I had color contacts. Chow was a fag. That's not what happened. I didn't get fired because I left the oven on, dude. I fucking got fired for no reason. And then I was pissed and crying, so I left the oven on. Like, on accident, like after the fact. Because I was like, fuck, I just need to get out of here after I heard the news.
Work as a line cook in an Italian restaurant and take an internship at an investment banking company which was related to his degree field, all while continuing to play RuneScape and, to be more specific, smoking marijuana and closing doors on players at RuneScape house parties in order to impede their progress and generally troll them for his personal pleasure. He will later decide to record this, and on January 9, 2015, Closing Doors was uploaded to Ice Poseidon's YouTube channel where he will commentate over himself doing just that.
Today what I'm gonna do is close the door on the guy who owns this house as part of...
The foreshadowing, though, as you can see in the friends list, it says banned and dank KFC. Wow.
Channel where he will
as part of my closing the door in old school RuneScape series. So right now I'm gonna add this guy, Travis Skills, I don't know. So there's a green dot.
I always play Ape Escape Music, so it's my favorite game of all time.
To me to try and kick me, and I can run off, you know, when I see that green dot running towards me. So right now I'm just closing the door. You trying to get in. Oh, you. And you.
These videos would be uploaded to RuneScape's subreddit where they would get a fair amount of views and a moderate amount of upvotes. He would continue to upload various prank videos, but the one that stood out from the rest was Closing Doors 4. This video would make it to the front page of the subreddit, and although a bit reluctant about the idea at first, with the encouragement of his fans, Ice announced that he will begin to stream RuneScape on Twitch, a popular streaming platform with a focus on gaming.
This Friday, May 15th, at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 11 p.m. GMT, I will be streaming.
That was my first trailer right there, and that was some good shit, honestly.
Ice's approach to this was more intuitive than most, as he knew to make it on such a competitive platform.
This was part of my second stream of all time. As you can see, I used to block my face because I figured that would be good marketing to, give the illusion of secrecy and make people wonder.
He would have to stand out from the competition, so he would need a gimmick. Something the viewers could remember him by and leave a lasting impact. His gimmick would be where he would wear a suit and tie and only show his torso while streaming, leaving him somewhat anonymous. But he would later reveal the lower part of his face and eventually give up on the gimmick and would reveal his face to the stream and adapt a shirt and tie, which he had a large variety of, likely due to his internship. A little after this first month of streaming, he would earn his first $100, which would prompt him to quit his job as a line cook and also quit his internship.
Dude, I'm just like everyone else in LA. I make $100. I'm gonna be a full-time streamer.
As he saw potential in streaming. This would help grow the stream as he could spend more time online, but this would also have an unintended consequence as it furthered his isolation. After the third month of streaming, Ice had accumulated over $4,000 in donations. A big part of his growth was due in part to his clickbait titles that would advertise him playing the Dead Man Mode beta in Runescape when he was actually just in a normal PvP world. Although at the time he was not the only channel doing this, he was the one that retained viewers for the longest period of time. This would lead him to gain, at peak times, around 900 viewers, and when the long-anticipated Dead Man Mode was released, almost overnight, his concurrent viewer base would jump from 900 to 4,000. He also adapted more gimmicks to build his character. Most notably is the tongue thing, where he would pucker his lips, leaving enough room to move his tongue from left to right in a rapid motion, and the arm thing, where he would flail his arm wildly. Most importantly, he would find a name for his community, being the Purple Army. The name comes from the purple dots on a player's minimap that are usually white, but if those players were in your clan chat, they would appear as purple. Though through his streaming career, these gimmicks for the most part would fade away, except for one that stood out from the rest. A simple two-letter phrase, CX, which when turned 90 degrees counterclockwise makes a face. Fans would spam CX in other streamers' chats to notify each other when Ice was live, or practically any reference relating to Ice Poseidon, which although might have annoyed other streamers, it gave Ice free publicity. This, with a relatively unmoderated chat, meant that Ice's streams was where you, as the viewer, could truly run rampant. In the politically exhausting environment that at the time was affected.
Yes, and now that's very looked down upon to do. Imagine having an unmoderated chat in this day and age. It's just not found anymore.
Affecting a lot of people, Ice's chat gave much freedom, and would support the stream's unpredictable nature. This and the addition of song requests was something truly unique to not only Ice's stream, but to his community, where viewers would pay money to donate songs that Ice would then play on stream. Many of these songs would be altered to troll Ice, as users would include clips of racial slurs, racial stereotypes, or just a harmless reference to the stream.
Alright, who Ice fan? You are now banned. See you later. I'm sorry, you're banned, dude. You think that's funny? You're banned now, homie, so go suck a dick. Why'd you censor that shit out?
In 2016, as the Dead Man hype was dying down, Ice would alternate doing different events on RuneScape. One of these activities was staking, which in essence is a gambling minigame that has the same odds of winning as a coin toss. Ice would take donations from viewers to fuel this activity, and one day he was given the equivalent of $10,000 worth of RuneScape currency, which he would go on to lose. But through some kind of miracle, Ice was able to slowly earn it back, and I should mention, the intensity of this stream was unparalleled by any other and will catch the attention of many viewers outside of RuneScape. This stream would take him to the front page of Twitch and firmly establish him among the Twitch community. After this, he would begin to gravitate more towards variety streams where he would experiment playing different types of games, and the most popular by far out of any variety game that he played during this time period was V-Time, a virtual reality game where you can interact and speak to other virtual reality users, where normally Ice's interactions were limited to his chat and the occasional call from a streamer or viewer. His social interactions with strangers and his flamboyant personality were the focus of these streams, and the fact that the
flamboyant personality? Am I flamboyant, chat?
These streams were successful is a testament to Ice's adaptability and started to show him that the people watching him weren't so much interested in RuneScape or the other games he played, but instead him as a person, as he was a strange,
you're wrong, chat,
blank slate that most introverts could easily project themselves onto. As this became more apparent to Ice, he would try to find ways to stream without needing to play a game, and with the release of the social eating category on June of 2016 gave him the perfect excuse to do so. With his experience as a line cook, Ice would stream himself preparing meals in his home and eating them in front of his viewers, and not even a month later, the popular mobile game Pokemon Go would be released, which was essentially the birth of real-life streaming. So one day after Pokemon Go was released, Ice took to the streets with his laptop, a headset, and various other devices that would allow him to stream in public, all while scarcely playing Pokemon Go. The highlights of these streams were the live interactions he would have with strangers, all while retaining his unhinged personality. And whether it was Ice's enthusiasm, his cumbersome setup, or the fact that the people he was interacting with were on camera would usually mean that they would play into Ice's wacky skits. And while all seemed to be going great and Ice's viewership and wealth grew exponentially higher, Behind the scenes, in an uncharacteristically serious stream, Ice would reveal he has a deep sadness crushing him, and the lack of meaningful communication with anyone, including his parents that he lives with but rarely talked to, meant that although he was doing well stream-wise, the pressure to make good content and the harassment he received when he felt that he failed would take an emotional toll on him.
You know, there are just some things I just have to get off my chest. Like, you know, I don't talk to anybody. Like, I don't even talk to my parents. Like, I live with my parents, but we maybe talk 2 words, maybe like 2 words a day, maybe a sentence a day. Like, we don't talk at all. To argue and stuff. That's not talking, though. That's not the kind of talking you want to do. You know, and I don't really have anybody else. So you guys are like, if there's anybody in here watching, you're like the one who I'm, you know what I mean, talking to and letting this off my chest with. With you guys.
So I did this because, you know, obviously my other personal reasons that I had during that time and all times. I did a stream on VR that day, and it just didn't work out as planned, and I got a lot of shit for it. And that was like that wasn't the first time I got shit for stuff, but that was like, it just really bothered me. So, you know what I mean? That's what triggered that.
Being the only people that I actually talk to, when half of those people do nothing but to try to piss you off, you know, over the course of a few months, it just starts to sink in. And I was reading in the chat, this guy, he was like, oh, he's got your money, you sub to him, it's just for the money. I mean, honestly, dude, it's really not for the money. Money doesn't make me happy. I mean, you know what I mean, dude? You would think it would. You would think money makes you happy, but it really doesn't. I mean, oh, you know, there's a number in my bank account. I don't have to worry about, you know, fucking shit anymore. But there's other things. I can't even do
this. It was some bad. I felt really bad at those times.
I just try to do the best that I can. And I do, man. The streams are good.
Bro, if I even got half the harassment at that time that I do now, then, oh my God. I feel like I would probably just not even think about hitting the live button.
Good, I think, for most of the time. But when I have one bad stream, like, I feel like a fucking bitch right now, man. But I have other, man, I don't know. Just other issues as well. When you just don't talk to anybody for so long, it just gets to you. And I know I should, like, not fucking sleep for so long, and I could go out and do shit. I just don't know how to fucking go out and meet people, man, without having, like, I don't, like, usually you meet people at, like, a job or, like, school or something. But I don't know how to, there's no way for me to do that. There's no job, no school. I just don't know what I'm sad about. Every day I just have this underlining sadness. I just don't understand why.
As you can see, I've always had the same problems with being late and sleeping a lot and all this other stuff. Thank you, Quants. Appreciate it, dude. Yeah. And, you know, a lot of people in the chat might say, oh, you know, old Ice, or like, why don't you have the same passion anymore? And I do have passion for streaming, but, you know, I still have passion for streaming, but, you know, it's you know, not as crazy as it was back then, but, you know, it's because I've had a lot of things like this happen. Just this, but like 50 more times throughout the 3 years.
And I've kept that.
And sometimes you gotta just make yourself feel like, hey, if you fuck up, it's okay. And you just gotta move on from it sometimes. So I don't think that's a passion thing, actually. I think that's just like a content thing. Like, sometimes you fuck up, you just gotta be content about it. One time my battery broke for my camera, and I fucking cried. Like, sometimes you just got to be more content about stuff, otherwise you're not going to make it.
Everything in for the past 21 years. It's just fucking hard, man. Especially, like, when you talk to people, it's easy to keep yourself, it's easy to fucking keep everything in when you actually talk to people. But not having gone out and talking to people for like 8 months now, it's hard, dude. It's fucking hard.
This made things a lot more real in a sense. Ice wasn't entirely a character and was more genuine than he would lead on. This would have many fans flock to Ice in support, as his relatability with his struggles was widespread with many of his viewers. Though this would do little to sate those targeting him, as less than 3 months later, Ice lost a bet on stream, meaning that he would have to jump in his swimming pool. So he Skyped his phone through his computer to stream himself outside, and since he was away from his computer, he wouldn't be able to moderate nor hear donations. So viewers took advantage of this and played racist donations in order to try to get Ice banned. This would hit Ice's Twitch channel with a week-long ban, more than twice the length of his previous ban that was applied for the same reason. And a month later, on the exact same day IRL streaming was released on Twitch, Ice would ask for a girl's number and he would receive it. But he forgot to mute his stream, so he had just leaked a girl's number to everyone watching.
Yeah, so I mean, I f***ed up and I leaked a number. And my next ban would be a month. Which is really annoying.
He would then turn the stream off to do a follow-up with this girl, where it was revealed she received just 3 calls from viewers. And although she felt it was unnecessary, Ice would go on to pay her $500 as a form of compensation. Though this did little to dissuade Twitch, as his new 45-day ban would still take effect for leaking a stranger's personal information. The lack of stream.
To be honest, what I should have done when I was at that moment was, I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say. I was given the advice to just be a desktop streamer. You know, just stream from my desktop, play games and stuff. And that'd be the safest route. Kind of glad I didn't, because we got a lot of cool experiences. But at the same time, my life would be a lot easier if I was just playing games and a desktop streamer. Not that that's even my passion, because I don't really want to play games every day. That sounds fucking awful. But, you know, I'm just telling you, that's advice that I had gotten, and I was like, nah, fuck that.
Streaming would give Ice time to decide in what direction he wanted to take his life, and would later announce instead of saving money to purchase a house, he would move to Los Angeles to produce more interesting content and move in with his childhood friend, Voldesad. This saw drastic changes in Ice's social life, where in Florida he would have the rare stream sniper and maybe partake in a Skype call with a viewer. But in California, within the first month of streaming, he would have established a manager, met several fans, some of which would become his close friends, and would get into contact with many other content creators. The most notable at the time being the former TV personality Andy Milonakis, which he would stream with frequently. With this attention, he would also attract stalkers. A great example of this would be Andy, later given the name Mexican Andy by Ice's fanbase as not to get him confused with Andy Milonakis. This trend of naming unmemorable characters on stream by what stands out most about them, followed by Andy, would be something unique to Ice's stream and will later catch on and influence other streams. It was also around this time when Ice would begin to date a Twitch streamer, being Haley Atisto.
You know, apparently Haley was dating somebody when I started talking to her, and then she broke up with him to be with me. Apparently, I don't know.
And had many eventful interactions, such as jokingly getting married and later attending DreamHack, a festival that emphasizes technology. But this would never happen, as on April 27, 2017, while waiting for his flight at the airport, he will leak his flight number.
Am I feeling better today? Or I'm feeling way worse, but I'm still streaming. Yo, Grid, thanks for the sub, dude. Appreciate it. I don't know, dude. I might be on Terminal 5. I don't know where I am. I'm just on 53A. That's my gate. And I'm not. That was really stupid of me, to be fair. I'm not sure telling you guys that is a good idea, but what can you possibly do, right?
although he has
Now, that sounds really awful now that we're at this moment in time. That sounds fucking retarded, terrible, and, you know, just really pushing it. But, you have to remember, when this happened, I've never been swatted in public before. I'd only gotten swatted one time in my apartment, and it was, like, really minor. So, I was really naive, and that was, like, a huge mistake on my part. But, obviously, you know, and obviously it didn't age very well at all. But, you know, at that point, I was, like I didn't know what could happen. I mean, sure, swatting existed, but, like, it's not really been a thing. Like, swatting somebody in public, like, it's not really a thing, you know, at this moment in time.
done this in the past, and nothing has come of it, but this time, a viewer would call the airport and tell authorities that Ice had a bomb in his backpack. This would lead to police removing Ice from the flight and evacuating the plane in search of a bomb. This made national headlines and put Twitch, Ice's streaming platform, in a tough position, where they decided in order to avoid bad PR, they would have to cut ties with him and ban him permanently from Twitch. So now all Twitch streamers that he had befriended could no longer have him or his likeness appear on stream. This would be an understandably difficult time for Ice, but either through resilience or his spiteful nature, he quickly denounced Twitch and switched to YouTube as a streaming platform.
Resilience. Not that much spite. I didn't start getting a little bit of spite until after like a year, just because of how I thought I was being treated. But yeah, definitely resilience, because otherwise I was gonna go broke. So, I mean, we are the Purple Army, so there's no way we're just gonna stop and disperse and become irrelevant in the world of the in the world. We are going to continue to grow and continue to maintain ourselves. And we are going to continue to expand our horizons. And after all this, we'll see where we are in 6 months. We'll see what's going on with YouTube in 6 months. And there is an appeal process.
D3 gang said at here daily CX.
I could appeal to Twitch, and I could potentially get unbanned, depending on what's going on in 6 months. Oh yeah, the interesting news that I was really scared during this video. I'm not gonna lie to you. My YouTube had 20,000 subs on it. I was really fucking scared. I was like, I don't know if this is going to work, but let's give it a try. I was talking about that I did post on Twitter about. YouTube actually did invite me to a VIP section of VidCon, and we are going to talk about how to create YouTube Live and make it the direct competition to Twitch. So
and
that
well
in
said,
a few
the boys
months,
no good.
We are the people who revolutionized the Civil War that is against Twitch, and we are bringing it down and creating YouTube Live.
And to his surprise, he found that most of his community had migrated platforms to watch him. It should be noted that there was also a transition.
I think that was a pretty good video to make, because here's the thing. Most people that got banned on Twitch, they go with it. They just go with it until they can try to get unbanned or whatever. But I couldn't really afford to do that. I had to I was like, all right, let's make a fucking move then. Let's do this. Let's fucking see what we can do if we rise against, and that's what we did.
In the content he was producing, where he was once primarily focused on streaming games and occasionally streamed IRL, now the roles were reversed, where the meat of his content was the IRL streams he did. Though through this process, he lost viewers, but also gained many that preferred his newer streams. It was also around this time that Ice would start making an average of $20,000 a month. He would also allow his subreddit to make major decisions in his life, one of which being who he would date.
I want you guys to control my life. I mean,
this is one of the biggest mistakes I've ever made in live streaming. Not gonna fucking lie. Subreddit, it's cool. The community is awesome. But obviously some people just took that shit way too goddamn far.
I do. I know that sounds really fucking weird, but the thing, this is what I have in like an idea for the live stream. I want.
And yes, before people in the chat say, blaming other people, by the way, yes, this is my fault. I should have never said that.
You guys to control every aspect of my life, and I know that seems really fucking weird. I'm not saying like, no, don't do stupid fucking bullshit. I'm gonna keep like my location more secret and shit, but like that Reddit is pretty much going to be like my mother. That's what I'm saying. When you suggest things on that Reddit, You are suggesting how I'm going to change and manipulate my own life.
Yeah, I don't know why I said all this. I just must have been really, really scared. I was really, really scared. You know, it was my first stream on YouTube. I was like, fuck, I don't know what the fuck we're going to do. But, you know, and that's what I defaulted to as my, because I, you know, for fear of losing the, you know, people around me and stuff. But that was a mistake. There was definitely another way I could have went at that.
Haley? Dude, I like Haley, man. Like, I don't know, man. I like her, dude. I never felt this way before towards a woman.
And as the Reddit picked Geisha, a
Okay. Dude, Haley, no. Dude, fuck Haley, dude.
model and former Miss World Dominican Republic, a reluctant Ice would tell Haley about the situation where in a later stream she would comment this.
I helped him when he was suicidal. I talked to him every night. I let him cry. And he threw me underneath the bus because he wanted to reconcile with Geisha. But he basically was like, he didn't even like Geisha. He told me that he hated her and he wanted nothing to do with her. That he wanted to be close with me off stream, but pretend to be close with Geisha on stream. And, you know, like that caused like some beef between us. And
That's not entirely true. The crying and all that stuff was true. Well, I mean, obviously, you know, I confided in this woman. You know, I confided in her, so. But everything else is like, if I tried having like I tried to do a thing with like two girls, like, you know, that's just like bullshit that I was doing. You know, I was just being like, oh yeah, I don't really like Geisha. Oh yeah, you know, Haley's just my friend. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like one of those classic moves. Thank you, Philem. Appreciate the member, dude.
And then because I wasn't accepting of it, he took me up to the rooftop that night that Geisha came over for that date. And he asked me to be his girlfriend. And I told him that I just wanted to be bros. And I think when you're a content creator and you're thrown up in front of people, you have...
Although I didn't throw her under the bus. I was just like, Haley, I'm having a lot of issues right now with the whole Geisha thing. Please leave. That's basically what I said. Let me see. You're a psychopath. Horseshoes. Yes, thank you, dude. I have cheated on a lot of girls in my life. I am a piece of shit, I know. But I don't do that anymore. That's, you know, the old me. This is you know, back when... I mean, dude, Haley was one of the first girls I got with as a streamer. Like, I didn't have sex with girls. Like, this was a new thing to me. So, you know, imagine throwing yourself from being, like, basically a virgin into, like, this situation where all these girls want to have sex with you for either the right or wrong reasons. So it doesn't really matter. Yeah, you're going to take those opportunities. You got people like Geisha and, like, you know, Haley, like these fucking beautiful ass women that want to fuck. Like, dude, I've never had that before. Like, I'm going to try and get as much as I can, to be honest.
I have a lot of people that look up to you. And, you know, I've said some things that...
But at this point, I don't need to do that anymore. I've had sex with enough girls to understand that sex isn't really that great if you don't care about somebody, so.
And I regret, you know what I mean? But pressure happened and I can't take it back. I can only learn from my mistakes.
Which, in another stream, Ice would admit his flaws and comment further on the situation.
I lied to Geisha. Haley was sleeping over at my apartment, and I f***ed up. I'm sorry. I'm a fucking idiot. I always want to try and please whoever's in front of me, so go along with everything. In the process, I've lost a very important asset from my life, and that was Haley. I had to, I just completely alienated her from life completely. She was there for me.
Okay.
Through a really good time. She was there for me when everyone else was gone. I was really sad and depressed. Am I a pathological liar? Yeah. I am.
Yeah, I shouldn't have done this. I should have just been like, I tried to fuck 2 girls. Fuck it, dude. Like, that's literally what my response should have been. But instead, I did this whole fucking spiel because I thought that I had to be morally right in the situation at all times. But I realize now, as a streamer, I don't need to be morally right at all times because I'm not a fucking priest. I'm a fucking streamer. I'm an entertainer. And entertainers don't need to be morally right all the time. Like, sure, it's nice, but you don't have to, and it's better not to do this.
Should I keep girls in my life to stream? I don't know. Makes me happy. But then I just get caught up in just other things. When I moved on to YouTube from Twitch, I told you all that I sacrificed my real life for this real life streaming life, which means that everybody is in on my life and there's no blurred line between the stream and myself.
I mean, that's true. There's no blurred line. There is a little bit now, but there wasn't at the point in this video, and I was in a very confused state. Because like I said, I was very afraid of just losing everything I've worked hard for, so I just totally was submissive to the viewers in every sort of way, and that was, like I said, a mistake because I should have had more confidence in myself instead of having viewers control every aspect of my life, which, you know, only led to a lot of stress.
It's hard sometimes to intertwine those things, because usually when people deal with things like this, it's just between you and the girls. But now it's between me, the girls, and everybody. Puts me in my place, though. It really puts me in my place and helps me stay on track and understand that, you know, what's wrong and what's right. So for that, I appreciate you. Fuck it.
What is shown throughout this ordeal is his attempt to separate his stream life from his personal life, as even though it may provide him content, he regrets allowing his viewers to take so much control over his life and would follow further suggestions cautiously. He would also have an eventual falling out with Geisha, but his streams would flourish, as throughout the course of the next 4 months, he would go on to attend several conventions and collaborate with other well-known creators. He would also tour Europe and stream his adventures there. Ice was finally achieving the vision he had for his streams, but in his personal life, he was still missing a companion, which on August of 2017 is when Caroline Burt would come along, and with her, she would bring a considerable amount of drama, as during the double date she had with Ice, she was still seeing her boyfriend, and after the double date ended, she would go back to her boyfriend's house and stay the night. But due to the date with Ice, this would cause conflict within their relationship, which would cause them to break up, and she would then drift closer to Ice. But the thing is, she kept all this a secret, which is where the drama comes in.
Hi, I'm here, Jordan. After the date, after Paul and Caroline went on the date, she came home and crawled in bed with me because it was not real, and I broke up with her after that because I told her not to do it. You want me to? I'll turn it off if you're not streaming for real.
It's up to you, man. You kind of made her look bad, so you should leave it on. Do you have some kind of proof to back this claim up?
That I was living with her at the time?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're gonna throw that out there. You can't throw that out there without proof. Yes. I don't know why I F for a second there. That was really odd, but we're back. We're back. So, all right, let's continue.
Can we stop? Dude, I don't care. That's why I didn't make a video exposing you like 3 weeks ago.
Video exposing me, dude? Come on. Like, why don't you f***ing look at Like, we haven't talked, like, in 3 months.
Although she brought this type of drama with her,
I didn't believe that she was what a great frame to freeze on. I didn't believe her at that, or I did believe her at that time, but now that we're at this moment in time, I am an idiot. I totally should not have believed her.
she could still do much for Ice, as she could potentially suppress the stress from constant swatting, harassment, evictions, and general and personal lifestyle he was living, as Ice has a somewhat open-door policy at his house, meaning that practically at any time, you can visit his house and chat with him, and he might even add you to the streaming network he's developing as long as he could use you to create content. So at any given point, there would be strangers in his house.
I mean, that's a bad way to put it. More so collaborate.
Some even spending the night sleeping on his couches or just the floor. But again, this would be a massive sacrifice in privacy for a boost in his streaming career and would enclose what little he had left of his personal life even further. This and the disapproval that his fans had for Caroline would grow further when she became his girlfriend, which would distance him further from his community. But Ice was a happier person around this time. That can also be attributed to his visit with his parents on November of 2017 for Thanksgiving. He would cite this as an extremely happy experience.
Dude, seeing my parents in so long is really nice, dude. It's like, you don't understand how much you miss your parents until you hang out with them after you've been away for a while, you know what I mean? Like, it's fucking emotional, dude. It's like wholesome, like, you know, it's nice.
I've cried way too much in my fucking streaming career, haven't I?
Sorry, I'm not trying to get like all like teary-eyed.
all these rooftop streams, dude. I'm so glad I have a rooftop at this house too. One day it'll be used for content as well.
I don't know, man. I just feeling like, really like emotional earlier talking about this because it's just like, I don't know, you get like, I'm like happy, dude, is what it is. It's like hard to talk when you're happy because, you know, you just don't feel happy. You know, I haven't been happy for a long time, so.
Okay, so why I did this. Oh fuck. God fucking damn it.
You know,
okay, why I did this real quick. So basically, growing up, I always had this thing where I wanted people to be proud of me because I never felt like people were proud of me, my parents, whatever. I just never felt like anyone was proud of anything I did. So when I went back to my hometown and I saw that my neighbors and fucking people at like the stores I used to go to school with and my parents, all these people were like, "Oh wow, you're a fucking successful streamer. This is great. That's awesome. I'm so proud of you." Like they were saying all this shit. So I just felt really good because that these people from my childhood that I really wanted, you know, to feel proud of me, you know, they finally felt that. So that's why this occurred.
I hear these things, these like stories, and you know, it makes me happy, dude. Yeah, it's just been a while since I felt happy, so it's like, you know, I hear these like stories of, you know, from these people that I grew up with. They're like proud. That's all I wanted, dude. So it's like all I ever wanted in life, just people to be proud.
But the relations he had with his community
Thank you, Frank. I appreciate that, homie.
Would continue to struggle, where before, their displeasure was usually targeted at Ice's inability to sustain a consistent streaming schedule and the occasional lies he would tell. Now, still within the time frame of November 2017, there were accusations and somewhat strong evidence that Ice hired actors to pose as police officers to fake a police report that Caroline's car had been stolen, with the goal being to cancel his next couple of streams to spend time with Caroline. Again, these are only accusations, but regardless, the
Pretty sure I streamed every day after that, so definitely not.
community was not sated, and for most fans, the problem wasn't that he wanted to spend time with Caroline, it was how he tried to appease both sides with lies, as they would begin to feel strong deception from someone that they felt they could previously trust. Whether it was a contention between the two on how to manage a public relationship and streaming at the same time, or simply that he wanted to please his community, on January 4th of 2018, Ice would announce that he had broken up with Caroline. This would please a large portion of his community.
Congratulations on breaking
The brainwashing. We almost lost you. Okay, dude. Thanks, bro. Advanced Kid, thank you for the sponsor, dog. And don't you just love how things age? Caroline was actually in the back closet right there. She was in the back right there where that closet is. She was hiding, listening. As soon as that stream was over, she came out and gave me a big old kiss. Yeah. Okay. Check this out. I guess I'll just say this. I'll just bring it up, dude, because people are. Some people are just. I'm just kidding. No, she wasn't. But imagine, right? It's fucking stupid. So, all right, check this out. Why in the would I fake breakup? That doesn't make any goddamn sense. I mean, think about it like this. If I get caught fake breaking up, do you not think that would be very detrimental to my career? I mean, it would. And do you think I would really take that fucking risk?
But others would speculate if the breakup was another lie, which they were right to do so, as we will later find out the breakup was indeed real, but it only lasted 3 days, as in secret, Ice reached out to her and began dating her again, but this time in an open relationship. While to his fans, he would continue to support the narrative that he was single and
It was an open relationship to me, but not exactly to her.
Was avoiding contact with her, but that lie could only last so long, as almost exactly 5 months after the breakup, on day 11 on an RV trip that Ice had taken with his Andes and a few independent content creators, while at a resort in Horseshoe Bay, Texas, Caroline was accidentally shown on stream, which is where more drama ensued. Here it was revealed that Ice had had sexual relations with Caroline's friend, and though it was obvious to the viewers that the breakup was all a ruse, Ice persisted to belittle Caroline on stream in order to continue the act. This did not play to his favor.
What are you doing?
I just talked to security.
Hey, this place, so you have to come back.
Is one of them here?
Nope, none of them are here.
This is not a good clip. This is so bad. I'm gonna say this for I'll let the clip play out. I was in a really scared at this point in my life. I was really scared, and I was really like intimidated by just everything that was going on. And I thought the best response for me was to keep playing it off as like, being a dick to Caroline. I regret that. I definitely should have been nicer to her. But, I was really confused and intimidated, so.
Security. They said the only person that's allowed to stay are the people that are on the names for the rooms. I just talked to them.
So just me. It's only my name on the room.
Yeah.
How does that make sense? No, let me talk to the management.
Okay.
You're the one who caused all this. Don't sit here and cry. You're the one who caused everything.
I'm not crying.
You caused.
No, I came here because I saw what was
You
going
were
on.
complaining to security because you're jealous of Kaylee.
Oh my god. I just went and talked to security and I said, is there a way that we can get them to stay? They're performers.
To be fair, when the Horseshoe Bay thing did happen and people did find out, before I started my stream, I did tell her, please do not come on stream. It is going to make it really awkward for me, and I would just really appreciate it if you didn't come on stream. And then she walks on stream. So, I mean, to be fair, I tried setting up shit in a way that something like this wasn't going to happen, but when she walked on stream, it got really, really awkward really fast.
YouTubers, like, it's a whole misunderstanding, and they said,
You're the one who caused this.
How did I cause it?
You're the one who's bitching to security because you're like. It is my fault for lying, of course, but to make things not so awkward, I was just like, let me do my stream and we'll talk about this more when I'm done. Arguing with Kaylee about.
Security came up to me and said that you came up with the cameras screaming about how you're different girls.
Came in the first place because you ran up to me and punched me in the face.
Came up to me and said that he was saying I'm f***ing all these different girls, blah blah blah, and that they hire a high-end resort, and that was disrespectful of you, and they wanted
disrespectful of me. I disagree. I'm like, yeah, sure, yeah, who gives what does resort care? What did I say?
They said that it was disrespectful and that you have high-end clientele here, and that was very unprofessional. So
okay,
I just
so it's professional to go out and
just tried to help you. I'm
it's professional
sorry.
to go out and slap Kaylee when you're f***ing jealous?
Being out with you, dude, when we're f***ing...
Yeah, no shit, because I'm f***ing hot. What you mean?
If y'all are fighting and all that stuff, then that's going to create
I don't know why I said that.
okay? So if
I was trying to troll.
All I wanted was just for that security
Caroline,
guard.
please just go. Please just go.
That's all I wanted, since he thinks I'm lying, and
I
I
just
just
even
really
matter.
care
I
about
just want
him.
you to leave. I just want you to leave. Look at what's going on. I just want you to leave.
Yeah.
Then we'll go to Austin.
The only way to make her leave is to make her uncomfortable. Just come here. Just get in her face.
I called him and I
Just
said...
take a and she won't leave us alone, dude.
I'm not. I have been gone. I literally sit in my room.
You just won't
Yesterday,
go.
I was in the room all day. Yesterday, alone. I was in the room all day yesterday. Today, I'm always alone. What do you mean I don't leave you
Bro, I
alone?
can't
I'm
watch
always
this, bro.
alone.
Nobody believes you. I don't know what to do. The police said they can't take her out of the room. I don't know what to do.
You're just making me look crazy for this stream and it freaks me
Make you
out.
look crazy. You're actually a little bit crazy. See you later, Caroline. Goodbye.
Oh, no, please.
It was also revealed that he had heavily damaged a rental car that was paid for by Caroline's mother, which he refused to pay the damages for.
Okay, that's not true. We lost the car, but they found it, so.
My mom says, yes, it was picked up, but Paul hasn't paid for it yet because the damage, what did they say the damage was? $3,000 of damage was done to it.
If you're wondering how we lost the car, I don't really remember exactly, but I think so Horseshoe Bay was located pretty far outside the city, like an hour outside the city, in the middle of nowhere. I'm pretty sure my phone died. I didn't know how to get to Horseshoe Bay, so I ditched the car in a parking lot somewhere, and then somehow I think I Ubered to Horseshoe Bay or something, and then I don't know. I don't really remember. Maybe my phone didn't die because that doesn't really make sense, but I didn't know how to get there, so I fucking Ubered, and then I just ditched the car, and then we couldn't find it where I ditched it, so we lost it. But eventually, I think a month later, the city of Austin found it. So
The wheels and I guess everything he was doing.
This, for many, was the lowest point in Ice's streaming career. He would then fly back to Los Angeles, where by request of his subreddit, he would shave his head. But this would do little to calm the unrest in his community as more information about the relationship had begun to leak, which left many viewers wondering if he can continue this life for a 5-month period, what else could he be lying about? And a stream he would do a few days later would give us more insight into why he lied.
it just made it more complicated, because she came on stream and she really broke my trust with that shit. So I just was like, if you ever did this, I would just have to break up with you and get rid of you. And that's kind of what I had to do. But I mean, it was like a complicated situation because I really wish. To be fair, with any of this, what I did totally is not excuse whatsoever. I was totally not in the right there at all. And I've since apologized to Caroline. To be fair though, when we did start dating behind closed curtains, I told her, please keep this a secret. And after we broke up, actually, after this, or it was another time after this, I don't know, after 2 months after this situation, I think I found out she had Reddit alts and stuff. So I was I don't know. It was just really, she definitely had some skeletons in her closet too. But does not excuse what I did. You know what I mean? I could have met her when I wasn't a streamer because it's you know what I mean? There's not that many people that care about me. So it's when I have to get rid of people that care about me, it just kind of sucks. There's obviously a reason why I lied. It's not easy. You can't just say to a community that hated somebody with a passion that you love somebody, okay? It's not that easy. Because then people will just obviously give you shit. And You know what I mean? It's like, it doesn't matter who you love. It doesn't matter who I love. You know what I mean? So, you know, there's obviously a reason why. I just wanted to keep something in my personal life.
5 months later, on a trip to Iceland, Ice tried to
This all relays back to what I said before and why I made a mistake. When I said that, you know, that my life will be controlled by Reddit and all this stuff, that was a mistake because obviously I felt the need to do stuff like lie about Caroline and all this other stuff when I should have just, you know, obviously been honest. But I just felt the need that I just felt like I had to because I'm just very intimidated by viewers. That's basically what it boils down to. But I'm not going to sit here and talk to you about all that because that's irrelevant to the situation. And this is all like fucking, 6 months old, so who cares?
With Caroline once more, but with no success, as she had already found someone else. And later on, so would Ice, as a month later, he revealed his new girlfriend. But even still, the viewer's displeasure with Paul was still very noticeable. This was most evident on its subreddit where once it was full of memes and stream suggestions, either due to neglect or genuine hatred, had gotten so bad it had to be quarantined by Reddit staff as it had devolved into a community set on critiquing Ice and his companions, and on February 21st, 2019 would eventually be shut down by Ice. His YouTube videos would also be flooded with dislikes as many would cite the transition in style of content that he was producing, where to some, it felt like he was trying to appeal to a more mainstream audience and had lost what had made him loved by so many. Where it stands, Ice Poseidon is losing subscribers daily, his community is regarded as one of the most toxic on the internet, and he is constantly surrounded by people that he doesn't know if they genuinely like him or if they want to use his fame for their own.
I'm going to pause that. I know exactly who's around me that is trying to use me and who's not. I know it doesn't seem obvious that I know, but I know exactly who is and who isn't. I just don't make it known to those people. Well, I don't make it known to the fake ones. I only make it known to the real ones because the fake ones are around for a reason. You know what I mean? You gotta have more faith in why I keep someone around, even if I know they're fake.
Personal advantage. Many disgruntled fans would say his loss in popularity was due to his transition from a hyperactive introvert who cared very little about societal norms and was the forefront for counterculture has since become a somewhat unrelatable extroverted kingpin who has for the most part assimilated into generic streaming culture that somewhat cannot find a balance between his personal life and his streaming career. Though Ice has overcome many challenges, recovering the trust of his community might be the most difficult yet.
I don't know if I'd call myself an extroverted kingpin, but, you know, I'm still pretty intimate with viewers. I think so. I mean, I like to have, you know, pretty, like, talks and stuff. Like, fucking, I like to do shit like this. I don't know. I don't think I'm some, like, extroverted kingpin who's like, all right, only talk to me if you donate, or shit like that.
This is a section of the video where I give my opinion on what I think is going on with Ice Poseidon, right? And I should disclose that I've been watching him since 2015, which is when he started streaming. So I've been through his lies, I've been, I guess, part of his community, right? And something for me personally is I can't stand liars. I feel that if you think you can lie to me and I won't catch it, you think you're better than me, and you think you can deceive me. So that's why I don't really watch him, or I guess invest in him personally. I'll watch the stream if it's good. But as a person, right, and I know this is biased because I'm a content creator, I think what he's gone through would have changed anyone. And it was especially bad on him because he does what no sane person tries to do because they know the consequences. And that's exposing themselves fully to the stream. And if you do that, if you tell if you tell random people everything, right, it's harder to maintain personal relationships because how can like your friends trust you if you just tell like strangers everything, right? Like, so what that does is it kind of makes really what he's trying to do, it makes his chat, his viewers, his community like his true friends, right? His best friends. And what that does to a person, it kind of messes them up because imagine Imagine your best friend being an extremely bipolar person that one day is like, hey man, great streams, you're doing great, like I really love where this is going. And like another day when like you're not doing so great, where you really need that boost, right? Imagine them just being like going straight up to you and being like, kill yourself, like you suck, like we shouldn't be streaming. And although it might not feel like it, like those do affect people. And Ice having no one really else to rely on, right? Because people don't really care what he feels is people don't care about his personal issues. It really messes him up, right? It really does. And I've talked to a lot of stream snipers and people that know him, like that have met him and know him like kind of personally. And off camera, it turns out like he's actually a really nice guy, which, surprised me a little bit. So knowing that he is a gentle soul and how I feel like all the swatting, the harassment, all this that he's been through, he just can't catch a break. So I do
gentle soul.
Really hope that he can recover from this.
Okay. I don't think there's. I just want to say something because I don't think a lot of people do understand. I don't think a lot of people do get it, and I don't think I've ever said this before, but I thought it was obvious, but maybe not. Okay, are you guys ready to hear some groundbreaking news? Groundbreaking fucking knowledge that's gonna blow your fucking mind. That's gonna be censored out. Ice Poseidon and Paul Danino are two different people. And they used to not be, because I got fucking lost in myself and I couldn't differentiate Ice Poseidon from Paul anymore. But now I can again. And if people are used to only seeing Ice Poseidon, it looks weird. It does. But, yeah, that's the breaking news. There's two different people there, two different things. I don't know how else to put it. So, you know what I mean? Like if you saw some like really questionable stuff, like I'm a really confused person sometimes. Well, not really anymore. I'm much more like in tune with myself now. I've done a lot of thinking to myself in the past few months. It's not multiple personality disorder. It's called having a persona. And, Ice Poseidon is a persona. Paul Danino is who I am as a person. And who am I right now? I don't really know. That's for you to decide. Who am I right now? You know who I want to be? I want to be, I guess I kind of want to be Paul Danino more than Ice Poseidon a lot of the times. Because when I'm Ice Poseidon, I can't really just chill. And it's really exhausting. But when I'm Paul Danino, then we're all chill, it's nice, and, we're good. So that's basically the two different things. One is a troll, and one is a troll.